Hi, this is the start of my new player guide, tips and tricks, basically. Um, this is intended for people that just finished the tutorial or like are very new to the game. I do recommend doing the tutorial. Not only does it teach you some things about the game, you start with gear, and if you skip the tutorial, you just start over in this area with nothing, and it's going to be difficult to progress any. You would have to basically role play as a beggar, and that's not the path you want to take, is it? Anyway, right here you can find probably the only quest giver in the game. Uh, they show you a little bit about like the some of the activities that you can do in the game. One of the first things is expeditions. Uh, you get like a daily reward for them. So starting out, it is actually a good idea to do these for and then with the daily reward, sell it on the market. But these markets are separate, so you might want to check here first and see what they're selling for at this new player area market, and then go to the major city and check what it sells for on that market too, because these markets are separate. So like this market is its own like it's independent from any other market in the game. Same with this market. Same with if you were in Martlock. This market is separate than any other market. Same with their starting areas market. The same goes for the banks. These are this symbol is the bank chest. Uh, one of these new player islands or zones, towns, whatever you want to call it. This is what it looks like open world. So like some maps have uh you can buy like a bank space. So say like you were in the red zone, which this is red zone, lethal zones, full loot PvP areas. You can run out of there to this yellow zone where you can't be killed. You just get knocked out and you have to pay a repair cost. Drop it off at that bank. But that's a little bit like more advanced. I'm just trying to explain all the. But anyway, yeah, all this stuff is separate. Like the markets are separate, the banks are separate. So you won't have the same gear here if you store it here as you would up here. Uh, but yeah, eventually this tutorial guy quest giver is going to is going to give you a quest to do group activities. Uh, I kind of skipped that when I first started because I was just like I didn't really want to wait on a party, and I assumed there weren't many new players, so I just kind of went to these level 3 zones and did something called open world fame farm. Basically, I just went around killing everything I seen. Uh, th- like this is probably the most populated area. So if you're finding like a lot of other players, you might want to try one of these side maps, as these should be pretty uh, like vacant, I guess. There's probably not aside from other new players, there's not going to be many people there. And these level 3 blue zones are are PVE. Like you can't be attacked in any of these zones or anything lower than 3 basically. You can't be attacked here, you can't be attacked in a city. But once you get to these zones, these blue zones, if you're faction flagged, which you'd have to go to the city and there the one for Bridge Watch is right around here. I'm guessing that yeah, that symbol right there is the faction flag person. So you'd have to go up there, flag, and that's how you faction flag. And like it's the same with any of the royal cities. So yeah, that symbol right there is where you would flag up at. And the requirements for that, you need 700 IP, and you need one of the adventurer challenges. This one right here, expert adventurer, in order to even faction flag. But you need the 700 IP in order to get points. So you won't get any faction points if you don't have at least 700 IP. But I don't think this counts for like defense points or like end of bandits points. Like as long as you're flagged, you should still get that. Uh, but yeah, anyway, that's for another video. I think I'm just gonna try to stick strictly to new player stuff. And with gathering, uh, I think I got good advice on just sticking with one thing at first, and then eventually you can branch out. But I stuck with skinning. So like it's really slow to progress. You're like you're gathering fame, so it's best to stick with one thing at first, and then eventually, like I got everything, almost everything to level 4. What is this one? Oh, fishing. Yeah, I'll never probably progress with fishing. I don't like it. I mean, it's not bad. Actually, you can make a decent amount of silver doing it. I just don't really prefer doing it. So yeah, I just don't do it. As far as gathering goes, though, stone isn't really used for much of anything right now, so it's not really worth investing in. I think I did because I was thinking it did. Like I was thinking like hammers used it or something like that to craft hammers, but not like weapon hammers. I think it's just like demolition hammers if it's even used for that. It's just not used for much other than like building. So it's just not really worth investing in right now. But the other ones, each of them, like cloth is used for a variety of things. You can craft armor with it. Same with leather. Uh, and metal is used for weapons. So is wood. And then you have refining, which I'm assuming it would be like if you don't plan on getting into crafting anytime soon, it would more than likely be more profitable to just sell the raw gathered materials instead of refining them. But if you do plan on crafting like soon or something like that, you should invest in the refining then, because the higher your fame in refining, the less the less material excuse me the less material you'll use. So it'll definitely be worth it getting this up to a high level before you start crafting. Like I went with leather armors, and I'm just now starting to get into other crafting stuff. But I think like crafting wise, it's more of like a mid game kind of uh like fame investment, I guess you could say. So like starting out, I would definitely stick with just with gathering and refining, or just gathering. And that you know what I mean. You could sell that on the market and make a decent amount of silver. starting out. Uh, I think the best option, say if you did want to refine, um, tier 3 is needed in order to make the higher tier stuff. Like I'll just let's see. If I click on this, it should. So like in order to make one heavy hide for one cured leather, one heavy hide is needed and one worked leather is needed. In order to make the worked leather, this tier 3 hide is needed. And the tier 3 hide needs the tier 2, but the tier 2 just needs that. So like tier 1, like if you kill a squirrel and skin it, it's just trash basically. You can just like uh hold on. I hope this doesn't glitch. I'll just do it on the potion just in case it does. But you can you can drag it and drop it here and then just destroy it. So like if you like yeah, I'll just do it real quick. Like you accidentally chop some rough logs. That's just taking up space in your inventory. Just boop, get rid of it. Um yeah, anyway, back to the refining. Like you need that crafters need that or refiners need that the tier 3 leather. So and it's the same with other things. Like it's the same with wood. It's the same with anything that's refined. It needs this low tier in order to make the higher tiers as well. So you're more than likely better off refining this if you're gathering at least because this is always going to be used and with how cheap it is, like I don't waste my time gathering tier 3 anymore. Like I'd rather just pay what like the little bit of silver that it costs for basically a full stack. So it's not like you're gonna make millions off of doing that, but you will make a good chunk of change and get your refining leveled for fairly cheap. Uh, Another thing is you want to be like if you refine, you want to be in the city with the bonus. So Bridgewatch's bonus is stone. Um, which again is kind of useless right now. I mean, it's not completely useless. It's just not used for much, so it's not really worth getting into. And then Martlock has leather or hide. Yeah, basically, you produce leather, you get this bonus. It's not gonna. Hopefully, the video quality is better than my screen's quality, but you get a better production output. Uh, if you go to the city with a bonus. And then there's these if you're doing the tier 3, you should probably just stick to like the new player area. It's not right here. These are crafting stations. Well, there is some refining stations, but there's a crafting station right in the zone I'm in. There's and this I don't think you pay any yeah, you don't pay anything for these. So if you're doing the tier 3, your best option is to just go right there and then it'll more than likely sell better in Martlock. So if you want to like sell order it, you're better off transporting it to Martlock and selling it there. Cause then well, transporting it there, uh I'm pretty sure this gets like they probably have yeah, they have a no, you don't get any bonus here though. So that's the downside. I mean, you won't pay any silver, but more than likely the silver cost for it is going to be like like minuscule to the amount of like silver that it's gonna sell for, especially that low of a tier. So you probably don't have to worry about like, as long as you find a station that's not like completely overpriced or something, you should be fine. Which these aren't bad. I mean, they're a little higher than they normally are, but they usually range like, I guess, from like 300 silver. A while back, it was up to like almost 500. Um, but then again, I still think it you should make more silver selling it than you are paying to use these stations, which are all player owned, by the way, unless it says system. That is, well, at least I'm almost certain it's just the in-game system. Like it, nobody bought it or something like that, so the game bought it. But it might be a player. I don't know. They're really greedy though. So like, yeah, there it is. System. See, you don't want to use that because then you will lose money. I'm almost certain you would, even at tier 3. But that, I don't know how much nutrition you use per tier. So but it's never like, even when I make like 4.3, it's never that much if you go to one of these like more reasonably priced stations. These ones with the customs, I'm not really sure what all that, uh like, I was able to use a custom station before. I'm not sure why. Maybe it might be faction based. I have no clue. Uh but I always just look for the public stations. And yeah, you definitely want to go to the city with the bonus. Um if you have premium and you have nothing to use the focus on, uh I mean, I wouldn't waste it on tier 3. Once you're at like tier 4 and like you get enchanted tier 4, that would be worth using focus for. Because when you use focus, you get like a return on your like used materials. So say it costs like 7 hides. Like you get like, after making 3, you get like 3 back or something like that, or 3.5 back. I'm not really certain on the exact math of it, but it's usually better to use focus because you get more like production out of it. Which I need to find something to use my focus for, because once you get to 30k focus, that's like the cap. Which I guess I get. I think because I have premium, or I don't even know. I don't even know how I have 30 already. Like I just spent it all, I think, last night. Anyway, I thought you only got 10,000 focus a day. Maybe they changed that. Not really certain. Uh, but yeah, once your focus is full, you definitely want to use it on something. So if you're new and you're refining, use it on that. I don't even know. I mean, there's a few things you can use it on, but the main thing is crafting, and farms. If you get a player island, which you need to get 30 days of premium in order to be able to get a player island. I think this is kind of getting lengthy. I don't know what else to go over. But yeah, starting out wise, just stick to these PVE areas, and try out the different weapons. Once you're able to get to equip tier 4, that's when you can start venturing out to like the yellow zones and stuff like that. Yellow zones are PvP, but normally there's not many like you can go outlaw in yellow zones, and then you can basically PK anybody you attack. But that's really rare because yellow zones you only get knocked out in. So all you're really doing is just costing that player to pay silver for repairs. So it's like really uncommon that people go outlaw, and it's like there's no point to it in the yellow zone really, other than just to I don't know ruin somebody's day, I guess. But yeah, like when if you're faction flag though, other factions will fight you in these level 4 zones too. And if you go out there too early, you're gonna be like just getting knocked out a bunch. So you really want to wait until you can at least equip tier 4, and then when you can equip tier 4, you want to get like 4.3. Right now I'm in black zone fame farming gear. That's more like I don't want to say it's not like mid game, but it's like there's a lot of other content I think you should try first before you go into lethal content as a new player. Uh, and you can use yellow zones as practice because you don't lose your items. Uh, but like having 4.3 in the yellow zones is a good starting point, as you'll get item power, which is basically like levels in this game. Like your item power is basically your level. Like you get all these benefits from having higher item power. And the more fame you get in items, the more item power you get from from the fame in the item. So it's like you can see here it says mastery bonus. That's because I'm what am I 98 in spike gauntlets. So uh I get item power from that plus any other uh weapon in that branch. I mean tree, I guess. So where are they? Well, that's axes. I always get lost in this. There is a lot of weapons and armor in this game. So like there's so many options, and I really suggest like trying everything out a little bit first before you get like completely invested in like a whole weapon line and stuff. Find what you like, and then go like this on it. So you get item power. What is it? I only get bonus point one from this. But I think once it maybe not. Maybe after 50 or something, it starts to go up to point two. So you get this in all war gloves. This this passive bonus here. And like you don't need the 120. Like I think you should get 100 and everything first before worrying about the 120. I only got 101 as kind of like a golden star basically. I just like the you know what I mean? It was like an accomplishment to get to 100, so I gave my character a golden star for well a blue star for it. Anyway, yeah, so like item powers are basically like your level in this game. And the higher it is, the more damage you do, the more tankier you are. Uh, like everything in here that has a plus, I'm almost certain is due to item power. Well, maybe not. No, I think it's just like the way it's listed on the percentages. But like, all right, so yeah, I can just unequip my stuff real quick, and we can watch what changes. Oh, actually, I'll unequip this first, and see that was all because of the item power of this. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Oh yeah, I did want to find some other early game activities are solo dungeons for like zones like this. You can get well, see, here's one right here. Actually, I think somebody did use a map on this one. I'm not really sure. It has these like butterflies right there. Like it's different colored than that one. I'm not really sure. They might have level 3 maps. I didn't know that. But I wouldn't really worry about getting a map on this. You will get better loot if you use a map, but these things are very common. They just random ones spawn, but people can get maps for them. And I don't think there is level 3 maps, so I'm pretty sure these are all just like randomly generated. As the you could start getting maps at level 4, and basically what that does is you buy it from the market or you get it as a drop, and when you use it, it spawns a solo dungeon in one of these. So like if you it was a level 4 one, it would spawn one in here. You could also get a 4.1 which would spawn in a level 4 zone still, but it would be like in a level 5 zone. But like the enchanted ones, unless you're doing lethal content, it's not really worth getting the enchanted ones. I mean, maybe the 4.1. I don't know. I don't think any enchanted dungeon maps in non-lethal zones are really gonna be all that worth it. But you try it out, see what you think. I think I tried it like a long time ago in like 5. I think I was doing like 5.1 maps in the yellow zone, and it just I mean like for the price that they cost, it just wasn't worth it. Like the loot that I was getting wasn't worth it. Yeah, but if you they also have that's for another video. I'm not really going to go over lethal zone stuff in this video. Um yeah, this is kind of getting lengthy. So I think yeah, there's solo dungeons, there's if you have a group, there's group dungeons as well.